Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad, SuperCoach Pro. Today's video we are doing a round 13 SuperCoach review. Now, before we get stuck into the team review, just I like to give a shout out to the boys at Shorty SuperCoach and SDS SuperCoach there with Daniel and Steve. Went for a kick of the footy today. We did a bit of a kicking contest for goals and whatnot. A few other lads down there as well having a kick. Yeah, so it was good fun. I think Shorty will be uploading that on his video somewhere during the week. Ripper blokes. It was great to meet them. Both fantastic in person, just as they are with their content online. So no, it was really good day of the kicking the ball around and having a shot for goal. I do apologise for that kid. I accidentally when I was going for goal, I snapped it and it would have been like the last 30 seconds of the day, and it got him right on the noggin. And I did apologise, and it didn't even faze him. So I'm quite surprised because that was an absolute drill. It came up right high, just went bang straight on the head. So yeah, felt pretty bad for that, and hopefully he's all right. Hopefully he doesn't unsub me. Just kidding, but great day for it. A bit dewy out there, so kicking was a little bit off, but it's just great to have a kick. It'd been almost 12 months for myself having a actual proper kick out there. So yeah, stuck in the side. Scored a 1940 for the round, so it moves me up into 1370 for my season rank. Moved up 831 spots. Still got 9 trades to burn through, and might have to get rid of some players, that's for sure. So starting back line, you got Sicily, scored 116 there. Pretty consistent, brought him in round 4 and have not looked back whatsoever. A bit annoying that I won't be able to buy Stewart in now that I've bought in my last defender, but I'll talk about that in a second. Stewart 97, first score below the ton. That's fine, is what it is, I suppose. Crispy 119, late goal. I actually thought that might have boosted his score a little bit more, but looking like a great pick. After round 3, he scored, 2 scores under 100, and I was going to cut him, and just sort of glad I held the faith and, sort of had to hold him anyway. I had other fish to fry at that point. And Doherty made the most sense this week with Stewart having his bye, and Sinclair's role could be up for debate when they've got the likes of Billings and Hunter Clark coming back through the VFL. So Doherty, my thought behind that was, with Zach Williams going down to the ankle, he's going to get majority of kickouts, and I think it's his second highest score of the year, scoring a 139 on debut for my side was just perfect. So it means I am a Stewart short behind there in terms of premium defenders, and that does worry me head to head each week because I think about 20% of competition have him. Short 102, he's playing a bit of everywhere, Mr. Fix-It, sort of Liam Baker sort of thing, where wherever we need him, we'll play him. So his scoring output isn't the same as what it was at the start of the year as a Tigers man. And McDonald, I don't really want to get into it. I bought in this guy thinking he'll score me 90s. If you do have a look at his scoring history, it actually is pretty decent. You got a 140, 132, 127, 102, 101, and a whole bunch of 90s and 80s. And that ends up being his lowest score of the year, a 24. Really annoyed about that move this week. Cutting Dacos early from McDonald was not a good move, and we, as super coaches in general, we always have one that just didn't go right, and that was one of them. And potentially cutting Luke Ryan a month too early, really. Should have held on to him. So hindsight's a wonderful thing, I guess. But Ware on debut played well, scored 66. Perryman went down, so Steen came on. So I think that actually gives the door ajar for open for Hamilton, who had 23 disposals on the weekend. I think 10 in the first quarter alone. So anyway, nailed my captain this week. Thought Oliver would go well, and he did. He was my best scorer apart from Cogs. 141. He was on 97 at half time. I just had clanger after clanger after that, really, in the third term especially. And yeah, didn't do too much after half time, but 141 this week is actually pretty high for a captaincy score if you look around the grounds. 123 from Neil was what majority of the comp went with, and they probably would have banked Cripps this week as well. So, you bank yourself an extra 30 points, really. And yeah, you take that any day of the week, that's for sure. Cripps 126. He played pretty well. He'll probably play pretty well on Thursday night against the Tigers, so he might be a sneaky VC option. Same with Doherty, because we do just bomb it to the goal square and just hope that Jack or Lynch grabs it. So, yeah, it could be a bit different. And, as you can see, I didn't bring in Judson Clark because I wasn't sure about his job security being a Tigers man. He's competing with the likes of Castagna and Morris Rioli, so I'll probably bring him in this week if there's no 102 mid-season recruits that are debuting this week. But after next week, if he doesn't play well, he will get dropped straight away for Castagna, so I don't like his long-term prospect. I like his price and his DPP flexibility at 117k though. Tom Green, 117, is definitely a hold for now, and if you can afford to, use him as sort of like an M9 if you have the luxury of that. That's what I'm thinking in my side in particular. 87 for Butters there is not too bad considering the head clash of 10 minutes ago. Could have really turned up again, to be honest. And yeah, glad I kept this bloke because he's been averaging pretty well since everyone cut him. Owens 26, he was on track for about 30 just before that half. And yeah, if he did play the rest of the game and not get concussed, he probably would have scored a nice 60 for me. So, yeah, it is what it is. I had to bring in Owens and Ware to bring in Doherty to then give me 231 grand. So I did have to grab two rookies, and they were the only ones on the bubble that I actually liked. Gorn copped a lot of injuries, so scored 70, lucky to even continue the game there. Gets the rest up by, so hopefully he's all right for that. I guess we'll find out later on the week if he'll be right for a fortnight's time. But this is where that Darcy Cameron play comes in real handy with the competition. He's averaging 108 since I brought him in 3 weeks ago. So I'll be keeping Cameron for the year, and the Teakle move is exactly like why I have it set in place is for an injury like a Gorn. Darcy 91, pretty average, had the VC on him, got sucked into the hype there that he'd go nuts and didn't do much at all. And I just feel like he's carrying an injury because he was playing with Meek last week, so there's just got to be something up there, and gets the rest, and he's one of those players that need the rest, really, especially if they're going to play finals this year. He does worry me, but he's just got such a high ceiling to make up for his low floor. Will Brodie, 82, with 5's return. His scoring did sort of get impacted, but he just didn't use the ball well. So it's a wait and see for me. I'm going to give it another 2 or 3 weeks after his bye, and if I have the luxury, and I don't get any injuries in between, I might sideways him to a Bont or something like that. Cameron played all right. He was on 100 for a lot of that last quarter. Could have went higher, but just didn't for some reason. I think Mason Cox stole the show today with his marking ability around the ground. Sort of, is what it is, I guess. He takes some hit outs off Cameron, but he's such a steady pick that I don't mind after picking him up for 450 and averaging 108 since grabbing him. Cogs, a big sucked in if you trade this bloke out a couple of weeks ago for whatever reason. If you look at Cogs' scoring history on Footy Wire, he's always been a consistent scorer in our forward line. He's now number 9 ranked for total points in Supercoach for your forward line, so there's no point sideways in this bloke, unless you're potentially getting Bonds or Wibber or English, but it might only be a 5-10 point per week thing. But if he pulls one of these scores, he's catching his score right back up, so not worth it. Do you really want too many dogs? That's the other thing. If there's some sort of COVID or flu or thing that happens during the season, it wipes out 4 or 5 players from the same club. Do you really want to be in that risky boat? And DeGoey, useless for me. So DeGoey and McDonald will go at some point. I was thinking about holding McDonald, but it's his second game now where he's played, Charlie Cameron and now Toby Green, and he's played more of a lockdown role now that Hall's in the side, and that has killed his scoring also. So didn't work to how I wanted it to be. Doesn't matter because we do have extra trades this year. So yeah, you're gonna have to do something to field a full side this week. I'll optimise here. Or I'll be honest, I'm probably going to come out with these buys using another 3 trades and be down to 6 with about 8 or 9 rounds left to go, which is fine. They'll just be purely injury trades, and that's it. And I don't even know vice captain and captain options this week, so it'll be something I'll look into. Thursday night I'll do a video instead of doing a Friday video. I think the Friday videos are coming a little bit too late. But my Thursday trading targets might not be accurate because of the Friday team at 5 p.m. can vary. And yeah, we all know what that's like. You just undo your changes and it comes a little bit irrelevant. But I might have a deeper look at VCC options and see some player movement if I recommend any trade-ins or if I'm against any of those. And yeah, look, if you haven't subbed to my content already, do give a sub, do give a thumbs up if you're liking what I'm providing. And yeah, definitely go check out SDS Supercoach with Steve there and Shorty Supercoach, who I'm sure you've already seen. Yeah, the kicking video will be out later on this week. Not sure when, but yeah, hopefully at some point maybe even we could do some sort of potty together. Not sure, see how it goes. And yeah, great day for the kick. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.